Hello everyone, Violet here. Welcome to my channel. It's so nice to meet you if we've never met before. And today I'm doing the Authortube Newbie tag. So grab yourself a cup of tea if you would like. I've got a peppermint green tea and let's talk about writing. So the first question is, how did I find Authortube? And it really was, I'd say, in 2021 when I did my first NaNoWriMo challenge. And I wrote the first draft of a novel in a month, and it was a dream I'd had for a really long time to actually be able to do that and accomplish it. And I really found a lot of motivation with watching writers on YouTube. And I also was able to connect to people. I also did some writing live streams at the time, and I did a little video update every single day for NaNoWriMo. So at that time, I found a lot of author pages that I really loved. And then in the past few years, I started to focus more on tarot and spirituality and stuff like that on my channel. But I was actually watching BookTube and Authortube on outside of that. So I've started really wanting to do it more. Last year I did a few Authortube and BookTube videos, but now I really want that to be my primary focus. So it's funny because I feel like I'm shifting my content, yet it feels like a community and a topic that's very familiar to me just because of watching it myself. The second question is, what genres do you write in? And my first novel, which I'm in the editing process for, is it's actually a middle grade children's novel. And it's a ghost story. But what I'm really excited about creating right now, I'm in the process of world building a fantasy series. But it's not just your typical fantasy series, it's a dark academia fantasy series. So that is what's in the work right now. And I think I'm going to tie it all together by weaving some tarot influence into the series as well. So that's what I'll be working on, and I'll really be posting about my process, both of finishing and editing the novel that I'm working on now, and the process of world building and character building and beginning this whole new huge project. The third question is, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category? So I write in past tense. I think that that's a lot easier for me, and I also write in third person, but with the point of view towards a singular character at a time. And my writing so far has mostly been multiple points of view, and that's also how I'm going to be doing this series. So my first novel was in the middle grade category, which you could think of as, say a chapter book you might read when you're 10 or something like that. And then the series I'm working on is going to be young adult. The fourth question is, am I a planner, a pantser, or a plancer? And I'm definitely a planner. I think I actually find the most fun in planning. I can at any point sit and be like, okay, I'm gonna plan out this novel. I'm gonna plot it, I'm gonna make the characters, I'm gonna make the world. But in terms of actually getting into the flow of writing, I really begin to enjoy it after I get over the hump of trying to get into the flow. So I think that in general, it's easier for me to dive into a project if I'm planning it out and know that when I'm writing that I'll have to cut less things, and hopefully, everything I do will be of more value because I really have to kind of push myself to get into that zone to actually write. And then once I'm in it, I really enjoy it. But yeah, the fifth question is, do you self-publish or traditionally publish? And wow, it would be amazing to traditionally publish, but I'm self-publishing. That is my plan. So unless some amazing thing happens, and I'm able, maybe I'll submit stuff though. I might just submit for fun, but my plan really is to self-publish. I'm also self-taught, So I'm doing this definitely as a hobby. That goes to the sixth question, what is your dream publishing company or literary agent? And that is something, it's a whole part of this process and world that I actually know nothing about. So I'm not sure. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see if that time comes. We'll see what I might try for. What can you expect from this channel? So I'm going to be posting more reading and writing updates, vlogs, things like that. And I'm also on my Twitch channel, which is connected, and you can see it linked below. I'll be doing a lot of working sessions where I do timed writing sprints. That really, really helps me get stuff done. And so I'll be doing that a lot on my Twitch channel if you want to join me in being productive. When did I start writing? So this is question number 8. Since I could write, like, I've been writing. Like, I wrote my first chapter book when I was in first grade, and I hand wrote it in, well, what inspired me was I had gotten this notebook that just looked like a book. It was like a hardcover notebook. So I thought, wow, I'm going to make this a book. And I filled up the notebook with a chapter book. It was about a unicorn. And I gave it to my teacher. And she said something lovely where she said, oh, I can't wait to see your name in print someday. I remember that. But I'm also like, wait, I wish I had that still. I hope that she still has it. Who knows? But yeah, I think I've always had an interest in writing, and it's funny because I'm someone with a whole lot of interests, and I pursued a lot of those other interests throughout my life. But when I really look back to like what I was interested in and really did as like an elementary school child, was writing and world building. Actually, in fourth grade, I created this whole world with a language and a culture and a history and all sorts of stuff, and that was really interesting. And then multiple times as a middle schooler and high schooler, I attempted to start writing. So it's always been there. It's always in the back of my mind as something that I wanted to do. And only in recent years, since having a child, and it was harder to do some of the other art forms that I'm, was used to doing, that I really went back to writing. So I covered the next question in that, which is what was the first story I wrote, which I'm just going to count that unicorn one, because that was the first big project that I can think of, and I was in first grade. So I'm sure I wrote stories before then, but that's the one. What authors have inspired me is the next one. And it's funny because I have like high taste in art, right, with a capital A. But if I actually like talk about the books that I really enjoy reading right now, it's not art with a capital A. So there's this like resistance in me to be like, oh, well, I want to say like these authors that are just wonderful that I do love. But then on the other hand, I'm also excited by writing, by really fun, like, easy to grasp novels and stuff. So what I will say is that I've been reading a lot of romantasy lately. You can see on my channel what I've been reading, but also an author that's really intrigued me since I was very young is C.S. Lewis. That's a huge one for me. That's one I don't feel embarrassed saying. And of course, I also grew up with the Harry Potter universe, and I absolutely really loved that. It probably, changed me in some way. Do I schedule my writing sessions? So yes, actually, I find this kind of goes along with the planning, I think, is that I need like a container to hold my writing. Otherwise, I push it to the side or I don't quite do it, So I'm using my schedule on my Twitch channel. You can go to my Twitch channel and see under schedule what I'm working with now. It's not a set in stone schedule, but it's certainly what I strive towards. And I use that time to write and work on productive things. And I've also set aside time, especially during different phases. I meet this local writers group at a restaurant. They same time every week, they block off a certain amount of space in the restaurant for the writers to just like all bring their laptops and be in separate, tables, and we all set a timer and cheer each other on writing. That's been really helpful for me, especially during certain phases of projects. So that really is the time that I write. I think that I pick up my pen with inspiration when I have ideas for the world building, character building aspects of it. So that I just have a notebook that I can pull out at any time and work on. But otherwise, yeah, that's how I schedule it. Where do I type is question number 12. And so I have a desk, a setup area, which is right here in front of me, and I look out over the backyard, which has a lot of trees and beautiful sky. And I love to write here. And then, like I said, I also sometimes take it to a coffee shop or a restaurant or try to like get out somewhere where I think sometimes what I need is accountability. So either I'm like live streaming and I have that audience accountability, like I said, on Twitch, or if I'm kind of out in the public and I pull out my computer, then I feel in a way, I mean, no one really cares what I'm doing on it, right? But like, I'm like, all right, I'm here to work. And then I feel like I'm more likely to work. My favorite place ever to write is one that I actually put on one of my NaNoWriMo videos. And it's this bookstore / coffee shop / like pub, basically. It's everything you could ever want. And the last question, number 13, is what do I look forward to most being on Authortube? And that is connecting to you all. So please say hello in the comments. Please let me know what you're writing. You know, I'm just so excited to meet you, and I realize I've been kind of a silent watcher for a long time on Authortube and BookTube as well. And so yeah, I'm excited to get to know people. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next time.